Gianluca just discovered who Matt Walsh is.
Yeah, I didn't know what this was.
He's a dude that goes around making documentaries about trans people and how they're not. He he comes at a point of hate, but he makes
a living just doing boo to fucking
trans
LGBT
people. Yeah. He's like, "What are you paid to do?"
I scare trans people.
Yeah. But the thing is that he comes at it from a point of hate, but he makes a lot of reasonable points, but they get clouded because he makes a lot of points that are just hateful as well.
Like Bill says, bro, being reasonable in today's time is inflammatory.
Yeah, but he says some things too that are hateful. So it
gets mixed.
So it gets mixed. So we don't get but if we hear this guy out, given what's going on and everything, but he was on Joe Rogan. And first of all, Joe Rogan just fillets his trans documentary. It's like, dude, But we're gonna go to it, and then when we were doing some digging before the show, we also found out that he got on Dr. Phil and debated a trans woman with a beard. So we're gonna check that out too. Cause if you what are you if you got a
make hers a little.
Oh, let her, yeah. Cause what are you if you're Here. Hold on, maybe I should point this down, yeah. Cause at the end of the day, what are you if you're fucking trans? Cause you're trying to essentially be a woman. Women don't have beards. You know what I mean? Again, who gives a fuck? But it's just interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't watch it because we were saving it for y'all, but we got to get to the bottom of that trans beard situation. But it's him on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan just fillets him. So
your documentaries, it's I can't tell you how many people have asked me if I've seen it. I think it's one of the most eye-opening things that's ever been done.
Joe.
It's eye-opening, they just say shit that you've already been saying for years.
Yeah.
How is it
It's men don't have uteruses.
We know, clap, clap,
we
clap.
know, but nowadays we're so polarized.
Nowadays we have to confirm it, though.
Yeah,
right?
nowadays so polarized. It's okay, fuck, that's up for debate. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Cazzo.
Veramente.
On this whole gender confusion thing that we're going through right now in our culture. And it was just one of those things where I had to watch. So many people were you have to see this. You have to see this. And I expected it to be I thought it would be arguments with people or it would be very, very confrontational. But instead, I think you did it masterfully. What you did is you just let these people explain themselves the way they would talk if you weren't there. The way they would talk to people who agree with what they're saying. And by not pushing back,
I think it's this one.
To let all of the crazy out.
The mic.
And it's it's hard to describe to people that aren't aware of what's going on, how wild this stuff has gotten.
Wow, what happened?
First of all, tell me what was the process of making this? How long did it take?
No,
what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, thanks for talking about it so much.
Hold on, let's go back because we weren't paying attention. We were talking about
all this whole gender confusion thing that we're going through right now in our culture. And it was just one of those things where I had to watch it. So many people were you have to see this. You have to see this.
So many people that tells you about Joe Rogan's circle. It's just a bunch of himbos. I hunt fish, and you need to see this documentary by Matt Walsh. Yeah,
And I expected it to be I thought it would be arguments with people or it would be very, very confrontational. But instead, I think you did it masterfully. What you did is you just let these people explain themselves the way they would talk if you weren't there. The way they would talk.
Yeah. That's where we can go to an excerpt to
not
someone he has a
pushing back,
conversation with.
I think you allowed them to let all the crazy out, and it's like it's hard to describe to people that aren't aware of what's going on, of how wild this stuff has gotten. But first of all, tell me, what was the process of making this? Like, how long did it take? What was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, thanks for talking about it so much on your podcast, by the way. It's been a huge boost for us. And I had this idea. You really have to go back several years, because it occurred to me maybe back in, 2017, that when this transgender stuff was starting to really gain mainstream traction, which I think happened that was like maybe when Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner. That was the moment that I think it exploded onto the mainstream.
Yeah, I'm good on this.
Not when it began, but it exploded into the mainstream. Right around that time, it sort of occurred to me that the people promoting this stuff have a problem, which is that we're supposed to accept someone like Bruce as a woman, but then what exactly does that mean? What are we accepting him as? Like,
yeah, one thing is that, like, okay, like, I get it, like, you technically he's not a woman, but it's like, yo, why can't we just accept him as a woman? Like, why we can't do that, yo? Like, now you're just being mean. You see? Like, now he's just being mean. Like, that's what takes away from the good parts.
When it gets just aggressive, it's just like, what are your pronouns? God, you don't have pronouns. You're part of the problem. You're big. It's like, dude, that's your identity.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll respect it. I do respect it.
Yeah, like.
But it's like, why do I have to identify as anything? Like,
no, but I mean, it is rude if they're like, call me a chick, and you go to them like, no, I'll call you a dude. That's kind of dickish, bro.
Yeah.
Just be like, all right, you're a chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then they're wearing a beard. It's like, okay.
Okay, like, yeah.
All right, you're a girl. I get it.
Are you, though? You with a beard?
With a beard, it's
you got to
confusing.
see what we're going to show next.
It's confusing, but okay.
But he's so anti-trans.
I'm like, hey guys.
Yo, he's so anti-trans, though, that he's like, yo, I got to have this beard like Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, like
he says, I identify as a woman. Well, what are you identifying as? What are we... If you're a woman... Well, I know what a woman was before.
Okay, just shut up and stop being a crab, though.
Then what is a woman now? And so I started asking this question. It was really basic, just like, what is a woman? What are you trying to say about womanhood now? And couldn't get anyone to answer it. I mean, and mostly it's just on Twitter, and challenging someone on the left. Just give me a definition.
Bro, it's like that billboard in Fulton, bro, that I said, that electronic shit. It was like a dude with one of those trans people with a beard that was like, had the finger like this, and it was like, don't tell me I can't menstruate.
Yeah.
It's like alright, like, if you want to buy tampons and shit, like and menstruation healing, like menstruation cramp, like, stuff to make it hurtless,
taking that away from real women.
You taking, I mean, not really, because there's ample supplies and the company makes, but it's like, alright, waste your money, go ahead. Like, what are you going to do with a tampon? Like,
yeah, but and it's like during the pandemic, no, there was like legit, need for tampons and shit. All those essential feminine supplies.
There was. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're just like, guys, I need 10 years worth of tampons. It's like, you're not gonna have 10 years.
Yeah, where they're
worth
sticking
of
it, they don't come back red with blood. They come back brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Straight up.
What's your definition of the word? And none of them would do it. So at a certain point, I thought, we have to find a way to go out and put this question in front of them. And that's sort of where the idea for the documentary came from. And we knew going in that we wanted two things. Well,
no,
two
you
things.
Just wanted to be a bully, but you make great points.
We have the mission behind it, the message that we want to get across. But we also want it to be a piece of entertainment, because a lot of conservative documentaries, not all of them, but many of them are just, you feel like you're watching an extended version of a podcast or something. It's not a piece of entertainment. So we wanted it to be that. And then we also knew that the way this is going to work, if it works at all, is if I'm just asking questions. Because if it's me going on a tour around the country yelling at people, that would be satisfying for me emotionally, but it just wouldn't prove anything other than what people already know, which is that two sides yell at each other. So we wanted to give sort of gender ideology a chance to hang itself by its own incoherences, which I think is what happened.
I think you definitely accomplished that. And it's so funny that question, what is a woman, is so difficult to answer. And then they'll say, well, someone who identifies as a woman. And you say, well, what does that mean, though?
Right.
And
certainly.
then they want to just stop talking. Like,
Yeah.
what was the politician that actually had you leave his office when you?
Yeah, we had a couple that stormed out, but only one made it on camera, and that was Mark Takano, a congressman in California, and he.
Our congressman can't. We have people in Congress that literally cannot just answer simple questions like about biology.
Yeah.
And this is getting out of control here.
That's where it starts getting because it's it's become like a mafia, dude.
Yeah, dude.
If you don't feel a certain way, you're
That's
outside
like
of the group.
That's like my joke. Like, in the
become a
future,
really
the Democratic nominee is just gonna have to be gay. And if he goes on stage and says, "I love my wife," he'll just get booed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the advocates. There's a reason we chose all these people. It wasn't just random. He's an advocate. He's not just a Democrat politician. He's an advocate for the Equality Act, which is this push by Democrats.
Oh, bro,
to kind of
I gotta move this
federalize
light, bro. This
all
shit's
this stuff
bothering me.
on a national level, so that all across the country, for example, men have the right to use a women's restroom, and opens up all the sports teams and all that. Just settles it, takes it away from the states, and so he's an advocate of that. He's a good guy to talk to, and he sat there for about 30 minutes, especially when I'm asking him the easy questions, and he would give his filibustering answer. But then
but he's see, like, this motherfucker's not coming at it impartially. Like, if you wanted to even play the role of an impartial journalist, like, even a Fox News journalist wouldn't be like, he gave me the same, filibustering. It would be like, this is what his response was. Yeah. I didn't get much of a response, but this, not as usual, because you already sound like you're coming at it from the opposite side. Like, that's another thing too. Like, he's not ever going to be taken legitimately because he comes from an obvious side, and I think he has right-wing donors. So don't forget, maybe he is paid to come at it like that.
I mean, he works for the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I started asking real questions. That's when he got really uncomfortable. You could even see.
No, I said like. This guy's a loser. I could never.
That's because his aide is standing right behind my back the entire time, and but she never. I kept expecting her to cut it off and shut it down, but she never did. And eventually, he just had enough of it. And he got up and left. But the thing that made him leave was I didn't even get to ask him the "what is a woman" question. I asked him. I asked him. There are males who want to use the women's restroom or the women's locker room, but then there are females who don't want to see an individual with a penis in the locker room. So you've got two competing claims here. Two people who have feelings. The women who feel like they don't want to see it.
Bro, that's what would happen. This issue came up with me in Viano, bro. Like, I was like, yo, what if someone who identifies as a woman still is attracted to women, like Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, right? Goes into a woman's restroom and just starts being a peeping Tom. No, they don't do that. All right, fuck. But yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, just at that point, just charge to go into the woman's bathroom and make a business out of it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm feeling, 32.50.
32.50 to identify.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna see this. This is here we go.
I thought we were gonna watch. Don't they have the whole movie?
Oh, yeah. What is a woman?
That's what we're gonna do.
No.
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh no. Yeah, no. He doesn't have it on. I thought that was it. No. He just has individual interviews. You want to watch it?
Candace Owens. Oh my God, the Clandis.
Yo, there's one thing I always say. It's like Matt Walsh is kind of a wiener. I couldn't see. Yo, no one on the right is a cool dude. Like, for real. Like, Matt Walsh, I would never. That dude is just a straight up dickhead wiener. No. Dave Rubin's just. His whole existence is a lie. Fuck Dave Rubin. No. You know what I'm saying? Everything he says is despicable, and it's so obvious. He makes it obvious that he's paid for it. He's not even good at his job. You know what I'm saying? Chases money, not even good at his job. Of all the Clandis Owens, same shit. Yeah, I could never, nah. Of all the right winger, like I could see myself actually enjoying myself during a conversation with Ben Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? Because I would disagree with everything he says, but I feel like he's actually a reasonable dude. Like.
Yeah, he's not so.
Yo, he doesn't come from a bad place.
I don't think he's. Yeah, he's just conservative.
He's just conservative as fuck. Yeah. Well, yo, want to watch that debate?
Yeah, this is like a guy that just wants to be like, gotcha.
Yeah, this is his debate with this.
Like one of those.
The one thing big brands don't tell you about reading market.
We know, and we don't meet them.
Think about
yelling at people.
Oh.
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry? Does a chicken commit suicide?
Dr. Michelle Forcier, who is, as you'll hear her proudly identify herself, a gender-affirming pediatrician, also an abortionist. We flew up to Providence, Rhode Island to speak with Dr. Forcier. She was, friendly enough.
It's irrelevant that she is an abortionist. That's totally irrelevant, People just need abortions. Chicks need abortions, bro. It just happens, okay? That's totally irrelevant.
At first, and what we found in many of the interviews that you'll see in What is a Woman is that gender ideologues are very polite and nice right up until the moment when you express any skepticism at all. But before we get to that point, where things really start to sort of fall apart, let's get to know Michelle a little bit. Watch.
My name is Michelle Forcier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us?
Sure.
At what age can a child?
Yeah, there's something odd about a person that's like, what do you want to major in? Sex. It's like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, it's a person that doesn't get laid.
It's like, some people want to be doctors, some people want to be lawyers, some people want to be businessmen, some people want to be engineers.
I want to major in sex.
Yeah,
it's like
because everyone wants to do sex. It's like, that's just,
Everybody thinks about sex.
Yeah, that's like, regardless of whatever you do all day, it's already on the back burner. Sex is never supposed to be on the front burner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone thinks about sex multiple times a day, all day. You know what I'm saying? But on a back burner. You know what I mean? You're still doing like, this person decided to make it the task.
Yeah, it's weird.
Child first begin to transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, it's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When a doctor sees the peanut.
How the fuck is a kid supposed to know the difference, bro?
Yeah, that doesn't come into play until adolescence, bro.
Yeah, it's like we said, I knew. The only thing I knew about sex.
Daniel knew he was gay from a very early age.
Gianluca flocked to them from a very early age for some reason. Yeah.
Yo, what's up with the mic? What happened?
Bro, you're talking in this.
I like my own mic, folks. I know.
Nah, but this one's it's hitting now.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, I just knew that chicks didn't have dicks, and then I knew
I thought their wieners were inverted. Turns out
that's what
right.
a trans. That is what a woman is when the wiener's inverted.
The wiener's inverted. It's called a fallopian tube.
No.
It's a shaft.
Yeah. Fallopian tube is different. Yeah.
You ever been to Fallopia?
Yes, and says.
Right next to Ethiopia.
I'm trying to hit them fallopian tubes, baby.
Them fallopian tubes,
Male.
bruh. That's water park shit.
As the sex of male, that's an arbitrary distinction.
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not correct.
So what is gender affirmation care you're a big proponent of? If we walk through, a child is sitting down with you, is questioning their gender. What's the gender affirmation process?
Affirmation means...
Yeah, I don't know. I never questioned my fucking gender. I was like, I'm a man.
...is to provide the best medical care for you, is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is, tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your identity?
Where have you been?
What type of questions? Where have you been in terms of your gender identity to like a 5-year-old? What the fuck? I didn't even know what the word identity meant until I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what identity meant until I had one. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
So this is someone who believes that the fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure,
reality
agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
Yeah.
To that child, they are.
She must be unbearable to talk to. Look at that fucking grin.
Look at that grin. Just like,
God, so snub. Academia snub bitch, bro.
I'm right, because I studied to be right.
Academia smug bitch.
I studied all those years to be right or sound right.
Sound right. Because this bitch is just fucking wrong.
Yeah.
When I see a child who, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say...
You're a parent? Oh, no.
Their imagination is.
One of the hardest things as we did this film, especially interviewing somebody like that,
oh, God. Okay.
is not, my instinct is just to yell at them to begin with.
All right.
Can we stop cutting? Let's see the interview.
Hold on. I'm going to it, bro. Hold on.
With his gay little monologues.
Makes me male. But feeling only gets...
Your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality. In truth. Okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
Oh, my God.
God, it gets that bizarre.
Oh, wow.
Which truth are we talking about? So it's
truth! God!
Alright, but let's stop owning... Stop being like,
First
this
of all,
is new science. Just be like, this is your opinion. This is how you feel.
This is your opinion, 1 and 2.
And we
what concoction of drugs is this chick on, bro?
None so.
She's just on a concoction. There's no way she's saying all this with straight face, bro.
We're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
Excuse me? Look, chicks love to do that. Say something unreasonable, and then when you pop up about it, it's like...
No, you didn't hear me.
It's like,
you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You're not listening. It's like, you're pretty clear by your gender identity, okay?
Yeah, okay. She's a chick.
Yeah, a chick.
So it's like...
If I see a chicken
identifies
laying eggs,
right.
a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry? Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's frame it, because you're trying...
Chicken has sex like any biological
organism. Chicken has
organism.
an assigned gender.
he's like, chicken has sex like any biological organism.
Oh, yeah, he's already dorking. I was like, but it's not the complexity of a human being.
It's like, you're already coming at it disingenuous. Like, I can tell you're paid. Ben Shapiro, when he sounds like that, I feel like he sounds like that in actual real life.
Yeah, like, instead of just trying to own people, talk to her. Sense.
Just be like,
don't just disregard everything.
Be like, ma'am, I know you're very...
Don't disregard everything she says, because all she's going to do is go further into her own
It's like,
fucking
ma'am,
trench,
I understand you're very passionate about this issue, but is there a chance? No, she wouldn't fucking... She's just... Alright, let me think, pause.
Pausa, folks.
Yeah.
This is a long one.
Alright, yeah. So goddamn, 25 minutes in. Bathroom break. Cazzo.
Yeah.
Andiamo.
Okay.
Chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
That right there will go down for me as maybe one of the most probably. And every other thing that makes it on this particular list, it also happened in the film, but certainly one of the most outrageous exchanges I've ever had with anybody. And of course, see, this is what happens when you start asking questions to the proponent of gender ideology. Is they end up backing themselves into various corners and have to make.
All right, that's how you guys argue too, though. That's how Republicans argue as well.
That's how everybody fucking got.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ, bro. You guys are the kings of that. It's like, bro, I used to debate these guys for a fucking living, bro. Like guys that were wannabes, like him.
Sex.
You guys are all the same.
Eggs. Chicken. Actually announced having this profile company would there's only 100% value for free. They don't want.
So medical.
What age does the medical transition begin with medication?
So medical affirmation begins when the patient says they're ready for it. So that could be a kiddo who is just starting puberty and panicking because they're getting breast buds or their penis is getting bigger and busier and they're worried about all kinds of masculine changes. And that way, puberty blockers, which are completely reversible and don't have permanent effects, are one.
No, do we know that though?
Not true.
Not true. Well, Sweden is. That's why Sweden, the people that invented this fucking surgery.
You gotta wait till after.
Now changed the law
16.
and said you gotta wait till you're 16. Like
beginning of puberty, it changes bone density apparently.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
It makes your bones gay.
No way. No, but it does. Cause
it does.
You need
that's why I think testosterone
to develop healthy male bones. And estrogen, same for girls.
What it does is just blocks testosterone because I think dudes have levels of estrogen too. Like there's like certain types of steroids that they boost both estrogen and testosterone. And when if you stop taking them, you get like a terrible case of man tits.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
That's what happened to me, folks. No, I'm just, I was just fat.
Wonderful because we can put that pause on puberty. Just like if you were listening to music, you put the pause on and we stop the blockers and puberty would go right back to where it was. The next note in the song just delayed that period of time.
So this is apart from later in the film as we start getting into more of the specifics here about puberty blockers. And I'm not going to say myself right now.
What?
I don't think you can block a process and then if you stop it, it's just going to begin right where...
Hell no.
It's going to have an effect. Let's be honest, bro. Everything you do has an effect. Now, is the effect something that the riff something you're...
That's something I feel like they just... The Dems just pull out of their...
individually front?
Not even Dems, bro, because most Dems don't believe it. I feel like that's something that the far left pulls out of their fucking ass, bro.
Yeah, to just try to justify.
You can reverse them. Bro, the nuclear chemist that was fucking... On the pod that I added in Florida, bro, that dude was saying the same shit, that they're reversible, all that. I'm like, dog, you are a scientist. You've got to be fucking kidding me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, look, yo, all the kids you see around today, from when we were kids, bro, that grew up and became adults, all those kids that were on all the medications and shit for their head, we have to deal with their comedy today. They have consequences, folks. Yeah. Anyway, it's horrible.
Now a lot in response to that because you have to go watch the film. Because as I said,
oh god, you're just trying to
drug. Child's taking as we.
That we should continue with this interview.
Castrate sex offenders, which actual purpose. Let's watch that. One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview because it seems like it's going in a particular direction.
Well, you're a medical professional.
I am a medical professional.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids?
That they used to chemically castrate. Yo, look at this shit. Look at it. Look where I paused it, though. Look at her face.
Yeah, she don't know what the fuck.
Again, I'm a physician and I use medication.
You're not a physician.
You're choosing exploitive words. Drugs, I give to kids.
I'm choosing a
chemical
word that was in a dictionary.
That's not a correct term for puberty blocking.
I could look it up on my phone, but I'm pretty sure if I looked it up...
You can look it up on your phone.
It says medical definition, the administration of a drug to bring about a marked reduction in the body's production of androgens and especially testosterone.
And I'm saying, as a pediatrician who takes care of hundreds of these kids, when you use that terminology, you were being malignant and harmful.
Chemical castration is malignant. But if they're... Okay, let's just say that they're losing their ability. No, castration is the word. Wait, alright, let's... Thesaurus castration. What the fuck? Yo, that's what's going on, bitch. And he beat you. He beat you. This bigot beat you, but he got you. But you can't say shit, lady. You're crazier than the bigot in front of you.
Would say that giving...
Like, imagine, bro. We've virtue signaled so hard that in a discussion with a bigot, their far right and our far left, their far right looks more sense with this particular issue only.
This guy's like, you're dumb. You're administering this drug, and then he's like, but yeah, why?
It's like you got out. Yo,
why is that drug that's being used against fucking
how do you go up against a far right guy and you look wackier than him? Like, these are people that believe in fucking 1776 will happen again.
17 cent, we're gonna get some tea, we're gonna throw it out.
We're gonna throw it out.
You know what else we're gonna throw out? We're gonna throw all these pussy Dems.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Starbucks and dump all their coffees.
Gonna dump all their fucking mocha lattes.
Mocha lattes. I'm gonna try it first, but then I'm gonna throw it out. And yeah.
Try it first. We'll throw it out.
Yeah. Because that's what a man would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chemical castration drugs to kids is malignant and harmful.
It's about the context of caring for a child and seeing the suffering that kids can have that have not...
She's like everyone in New York, though. She's like everyone that lives in Soho or...
God, yeah.
Unbearable.
In affirmative home situations.
So that was the part in our... You know, these are the particular...
If the literature being read to the child isn't entertaining to the parent, throw it away.
Are performing chemical castration on the kid.
What's that ad, man?
And we know that look like high right. Just
here we go.
Probably is not going to surprise you by now. So we're going on this journey. Boys can be girls, girls can be boys, men can be women, women can be men. It makes me wonder, what is a woman?
What is a woman? A woman is someone who claims that as their identity. It could be many things to many people.
That was her answer. Well, a woman is anyone. And that was, by the way, not to give any spoilers away, but that is the answer from the left to the question, which is a non-answer. It's the same thing as not answering. But that is the answer. A woman is someone who says they're a woman. And of course, to everyone who gives me that answer.
All right, Matt, we're good. We're good on Nazi propaganda, but yo, let's see the debate with him and Dr. Phil for real. Hold on. Yo, all right. Because yo, this dude's just a debate lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he just has good debate tactics, but I'd say he makes it occasional. The thing is that he has good debate tactics, so when he does make a good point, it's just remembered better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at that last one, yo, that lady was totally batshit. Like he just picked the right people.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a dispute over
Dr. Phil's like, I'm from Texas. I've never seen it.
I don't understand what
I have never. You need to take a good long look at yourself in the mirror.
Back in the day, if you want to be a woman, you had to shave your beard.
Yeah, for real. I just saw.
Gender pronouns.
I don't identify exclusively with being
like
a man or a woman.
Doesn't identify with being a male or woman.
Yeah.
So.
Just play it. Just play it.
Just excuse me. Excuse me.
Don't get your own pronouns.
You think it's a delusion?
You think it's a delusion?
You think it's a delusion? That's why I gave $2 million.
Crisis, let me tell you something about this.
President Trump, because I don't understand this.
Yeah, you think it's a... Listen, my wife Robin have never heard of this, okay? Yeah.
In school, our kids aren't being asked what their pronoun is.
This is a war on gender.
Babies are babies without a known sex.
When they were born, we did not assign a sex.
You think it's toxic to label the child one way or the other? Well, I have a question. Raise your hand if you have heard of gender pronouns such as he, she, or they, and Z or V.
Say fire! What are you talking about? Say fire!
Say zim, zim, zim.
Zim zam.
Raise your hand if you're confused about how to use them in today's social climate. Yeah. I'm asking these questions.
Raise your hand if you're confused about your sexuality. Come on now.
Identify as non-binary.
Yeah, who said that?
Meaning they don't identify as she or he, but they and other pronouns. Now, as society's attitudes about gender are continuously evolving, the practice of specifying one's pronouns is relatively new. Now, I just want to say, I don't have
relatively new is brand new.
Even close.
Yeah. But like, what's relative? Like 5 years? Like, this is within the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's an overcorrection. It's so obvious what it is. It's an overcorrection for Trump.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, it started before Trump.
Talk about fucking pronouns before Trump.
That's what. No. Pronouns, yes. Pronouns, I'd heard that before Trump. But I think like this whole everyone getting offended, the over offended, being an emotional hemophiliac.
Trump.
That shit started with Trump. Absolutely. And then, since everyone became an emotional hemophilia, people just went...
became a victim.
And then people just went wild with the gender shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to be victims. Exactly.
Cutscene.
Totally open to learning.
We get it. A lot of LGBT people really were bullied.
And learn.
But now they're flipping it around and they're literally
bullying us, comics.
Bullying straight people. Literally, straight people have to like walk on eggshells. Like, oh, what is your pronoun? And this is that. We get it wrong. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's gay as it's gay as fuck.
It's fucking queer.
Queer.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
So very or somewhat uncomfortable using them. Now, this growing debate regarding the use of pronouns has this country...
Controversy tonight over a new policy on how gender identity is addressed.
You will notice at the bottom of your emails or in Zoom meetings, the listing of...
No gay people! No. She seemed American.
Next to someone's name.
When should you use the pronouns he, him, or she, hers?
Have you ever had to like Gianluca LaPlume, he, him? Have you ever had to do that?
One time.
Where?
Fucking one of my improv classes, just because they were really shoving it up your throat. And then I was like,
You said he, him?
I was tired. I was like, I'll just do it. I was tired one day. I just did it. And I did honestly feel like
Bro, I've been practicing so many jokes for the day that they asked me that. I'm ready the day I'm asked that. I'm ready.
I didn't say he. I just said he.
My pronouns are U, S, and A. I'm just gonna go full Republican.
I didn't go full cucarde. I just said he.
My pronouns are U, S, and A.
Yeah. I was just like, is this really gonna disqualify me right now?
Yeah, like I can't get my foot in the door because I didn't go he, him.
He, him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I said he.
Gay gays. Yes.
UCLA's Wilson Institute estimates just under 1/2% of us are non-binary, meaning neither male nor female, or identify with a gender not a...
Y'all are bisexual, okay? Like the Romans.
In the middle of a national dispute over pronouns.
Point Park warned students if they use the wrong pronouns on a student, if an individual is impacted in a harmful way, action could be taken.
A kindergarten teacher is facing outrage after discussing gender identity with her students.
Ow! Kindergartners came home very confused.
Yo, mommy, you can discuss gender ideology with me. That's what you want.
She's like, the kindergartners came home very confused. I bet, bro. I'm confused, bro.
Gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl. Many parents.
Okay, I don't think they did that.
Yeah,
not only they did that.
My boy, it's like, yeah, you are.
You didn't. You did not do that. I feel like the first thing our parents was like, boy pee-pee, girl no pee-pee. You know what I mean? You pee-pee, boy.
Feel betrayed and blindsided.
I want her to hear from me as a parent what her gender identity means to her. My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
Well, there's no denying.
No, that didn't happen either. Come on, that sounds too fairy tale. It's like you're picking up.
Mommy, I might turn into a boy. No. Yeah.
You might turn into an orphan.
Every time that bitch lies, her
whining like that.
Every time that bitch lies, her clit grows like Pinocchio's nose. That's the only boy that she's gonna turn into. Yeah. Clinocchio.
A big topic of conversation that cannot and should not be ignored. And my first guest, Addison and Ethan, have a lot to say.
I'm Addison. And I'm Ethan. We've been together for about 5 years.
I'm not gonna say it.
I've been married for years. I use they, them pronouns.
Where did they meet? In a gay taco truck?
Yeah. I just don't identify with the gender I was assigned at birth, and I don't identify exclusively with being a man.
Yo, this is a chick.
With a full beard.
No, she's just Italian. That's on the armpits. I'm like,
chick, yeah.
It's like, oh, capita. She's Italian. I understand. Yeah.
Man or woman, or something in between, outside of that binary.
My pronouns are he or they. I also identify as a non-binary. To me, being non-binary means having the sense of freedom to explore my gender in whichever way I want. I don't have to perform.
I know, looks like a genderqueer Will Valderrama. Yeah.
It's really important for us to share more information with people who are curious and want to understand.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't always have the opportunities to do that.
Sono Latini.
Welcome.
Hi.
You were watching the tape piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a hot topic.
Yes.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is it a good thing?
I guess because it creates dialogue and it invites conversation to learn about other people.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are really confused about gender identity in these times, and it's good for us to have these conversations so people open their minds and relearn and unlearn to what we've been taught.
Right. And Addison, many people think gender pronouns are exclusive to the LGBTQ plus community, but that's a misconception, true?
Yeah. Well, everybody has pronouns. Like, you may use he and him as your pronouns, right? I use they and them as my pronouns. We all may have a certain gender pronoun too, but I think it's important.
Those arms are huge, though. You gotta say, he's a very masculine arm. Look at those forearms, bro. God. Who you play for? The Padres? You know, like,
people to
he plays
understand
for the Padres because he's looking for one.
Yeah.
Can change our pronouns to
He's
reflect
looking for a
who we
poppy.
come out and be.
Yeah, he's looking for a big poppy.
A big poppy.
Oh, for I mean a massive poppy.
I consider sex to be our biological makeup.
Forms
Our
are huge.
chromosomes or hormones, our genitals is a biological makeup. But our gender is more of an internal sense. So think of it like this. Sex is what's between the legs, and gender is what's between the ears, right? It's how we see ourselves on the inside.
Okay. And
I'll be honest, that's a pretty good way of explaining, because no, it is true, like definition wise, like in Webster, like gender is a perceived identity. Sex is biological, bro, what you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, it gets tricky because then they're like, well, no, but since I identify, I also have a period.
Yeah, then you're like,
Then
all right,
it's
no,
like,
that science has been
guys,
Yeah,
come
then when that happens, then we lost the thread on science.
Then
bro.
you're getting us into a pretzel where we just have to
we have
lie
to
and be
lie and be mean people. You're like, all right.
It's like, God.
that's something somebody can't know. Gender is something somebody can't know just by looking at somebody.
Yeah, because everyone is going to present and express themselves.
So I'm looking at you. What the fuck are you?
Yeah, presenting.
It's obviously a man. Yo, it's a physical specimen of a man. The forearms and bicep. This one used to play baseball.
Vero.
Telling you.
In a different way. I know it's.
But
very
Mark
confusing.
McGuire was
Like,
not a
what's going
bitch.
on? But it's really, about us breaking that assumption that we can tell someone's identity, someone's story, their pronouns, even their name, just based on how they look, right?
Yeah. And so how does someone ask? How does somebody clarify that? Ethan, what's the best way? What's the most comfortable way?
I think for me, to create a safe space for people to share their pronouns, I will say, hi, my name is Ethan, I use he or they pronouns. What about you?
I think it's really important for us to recognize
Ethan,
other
what are
people's
you?
pronouns because, again, we can't make that assumption. But for so many people who are cisgender, meaning that you do identify with the gender that you were assigned at birth, you're not transgender or not non-binary, I think a lot of people don't even question their pronouns because we already use them and it's already assumed correctly. But for so many trans and non-binary people, that isn't often assumed correctly. So we need to take the time to get to know people.
Cisgender, it says adjective that describes a person whose gender identity matches or aligns with the gender he or she was assigned at birth. Now, this would be what has been traditional for centuries, right? Why does it need a term?
If we don't use that term, then we end up saying maybe real men or normal men.
That's how you get away with being a
real men,
conservative
normal
in
men.
Hollywood.
Men with a dick and balls.
Dick and balls, American.
Yeah, in American, yeah. Dick, balls, and from
USA. June
yeah. Dick, balls, and from Texas.
Dick, balls, Texas, brisket.
Yeah.
Or we just say men, and then we say maybe transgender men, right? And the thing is that we need to realize that trans women are women, trans men are men too. And so we just want to have a term for that privilege, that assumption.
Oh my God, it's a privilege. Having a
at
penis is a privilege.
All right. And then transgender adjective describes a person.
Is it a privilege?
Yeah.
Or is that? Because
in New York.
You don't live in New York.
Life ain't privilege.
You don't live in New York and you're not in comedy. There's no privilege.
There's no privilege, bro. Fucking everybody gets passed before us.
Yeah.
Gay and bad comedy. Be inoffensive or LGBT.
And then they can be on stage like 4 times that we've seen them in hosting 4 times we see them, and then they say, this is my first time hosting every time, but it's really a chick that's garbage. Okay, going on.
Okay, but it's a chick. That's different. But yeah.
Yeah.
No,
same works, but
that one girl.
girl.
It's my first time hosting. Everybody clap. It's like the 90th time we've seen it. It's like, bro, how you've been doing this for like 4 months.
It's like we've seen you.
We've seen you.
Yeah.
And now.
They were assigned at birth. And then non-binary.
So have the people in the crowd by now. They're probably like, what? Yo, like, everyone there has seen you. She's like, stop it.
Man or woman. And that term can be abbreviated to, and how do you pronounce that? Envy.
Envy, yeah.
Okay.
What the
And,
fuck?
Explain that.
For transgender people, we are assigned a sex at birth, and when we grow up, when there's a mismatch of how we view ourselves and how society views us, then we can choose to, either medically transition or just socially transition or both. Not every transgender person chooses to medically transition. For me, I chose to medically transition to feel comfortable in my own skin.
To what?
Oh, so it was a chick.
Oh, it was a chick.
Yeah, and then he became a dude. Okay.
And this is different from.
I thought it was just a gay man.
Yeah, that was a gay
For many
man too.
non-binary
They
people,
did a good
might
job on
identify
that.
Yeah,
as
alright.
trans because they
Dude,
don't
yeah,
identify
the
gender as
doctor,
a
alright.
But for a lot of non-binary people, it
That
means
was
they
just a
don't
short
exclusively
Mexican
identify
Chihuahua
as
gay
a man
dude.
or woman. And under that is a whole umbrella.
Mr. T, we're gonna kill me. Why? Because you didn't pay the fucking extortion, whatever. It's like,
yeah.
No, because I'm gay.
Or gender identities, where people might
transition
have pronouns that change daily.
Yeah.
There might be people who have
You have
one
to
set of
pay
pronouns
$25,000.
You might have non-binary people
Yeah.
who
I want to
are
put the
fluid with
penis
their gender
back.
identities in itself.
The vagina back.
It's very confusing, very nuanced. But I think that what you were talking about earlier, with it being that maybe traditionally, for centuries, people have identified with maybe the gender that they were assigned at birth. When we look at history, when we look at cultures too around the world, we see that third, fourth, fifth genders have always been around. And in different cultures, the idea of what gender is, or a relation to our bodies, is completely different than maybe here in the United States.
I have a gender pronoun chart.
Where? What do you mean here in the United States? Where? I don't know, another country that
Italy's
follow
pretty,
along.
I mean, not Italy, but Europe's pretty fruity. Europe fruity. Fruity's there.
Yeah, but they aren't on board with this shit.
Not everywhere, but they fruity.
Some
Sono frutare there. Go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, but they're not with this shit right here. You can't talk this shit to any. Well,
Yeah.
in Amsterdam you could.
Yeah.
No, but in Amsterdam you'd find regular Dutch people that would be like,
no.
Geest? Yo, they'd be like,
no.
"Mijn geest?" Yo, they would be like, yo, the what? Yo.
It's Bergawin and not Bergawin.
No.
Yeah.
That I got really confused about, and I'm just admitting straight up, this chart, I didn't know how to use the chart, and we don't need to go through the whole thing.
It is complicated.
Or-
Fuck, can we at least admit that? Like how? God, it's like
just using
Not all these.
Co-laughed, I, that's co-pen, that's pen's co, did co-self-enjoy, damn, A laughed, ask and I, that's in pen,
Ask and I,
that's
you
in
identify
pen,
as Jewish?
Did, and self-enjoy. Yo, what is this? It's yourself, that pen zeros. What is a zir? What is a ver? Yo, this is the.
Those are Arab pronouns.
Yeah, zir.
I think at the end of the day, too, people will have different pronouns beyond he or she or even they, which I use in a singular context for myself. But as you can see, there's an ongoing evolution of language and how people can identify. If you're unsure how to use someone's pronouns after that person has disclosed what their pronouns are, just ask, clarify. I just want to make sure that I'm using your pronouns in the correct way.
Do you know?
Yo, when I do, I'm gonna go up to someone and be like, "Much better. Did I get your pronouns correct? I don't want to be disrespectful or anything. If at any time I got your pronouns wrong, just let me know. I'll say that exact phrase, but record me when I'm saying it. We'll go to the fucking pit for an improv class. And when we turn around and do the whole bullshit with the peace be with you, yo, I'll be like, "Hey, what's good, bro? Oh, my bad. I didn't mean. I don't know your pronouns as soon."
I'm sorry.
I'll do all, but record me as I'm doing it.
Oh,
because it'll go viral. Watch, that's the TikTok algorithm.
Right. Oh, I'm just, like a little corny. Like I'm sorry.
Like no, and I'm thankful that you respect me. I don't give a fuck. This was a day. I'll be like, yeah. Bing, bow, y'all are pussies and gay, yo.
Yeah, those improv mics sometimes.
Yeah. Yo, when we were turning around and doing the shaking hand thing, the first time I was like, "Peace be with you" to some guy.
Yeah, I remember. You're like, dude, I'm in church right now. Peace be with you.
I was like, yeah.
What, XIE?
So you say Z.
Z?
Mm-hmm.
But then there is a Z right below.
Mm-hmm. There's different ways to spell and pronounce pronouns. It's complicated and nuanced, but it's important for us to understand.
No, y'all pulled it out of your ass, but okay, yeah.
That complexity.
My next guest has been criticized online for his views about gender identity. His reply may surprise you. That's next.
It's gonna bring like an inch close to a Nazi.
You don't get your own.
Oh,
It's
fuck
like-
Matt Walsh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah, bro, this is what we said. Matt Walsh's debate on Dr. Phil.
No,
he's just
you're gay and retarded. It's like, God, Matt, you're kind of hard.
So you think it's a delusion if they decide that they're different than they were biologically created?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Matt
That
Walsh.
is putting it light, but okay, yeah.
Okay, Matt Walsh is officially, yeah, he's a pretty bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it does happen, bro. Yo, the scientific term, and my dad, who is a physician and, well, was a physician and he is a professor, where he teaches this shit to residents and college kids. Yeah, he straight up told me the scientific term is actually called gender dysphoria. Like, many people have body dysmorphia, gender dysmorphia. People have body dysmorphias, like they fucking, you know, they think that they're always fat when they're not. That's what, like, anorexia is a form of body dysmorphia. But transgenderism, the real name is gender dysmorphia, you know. So they think they're a gender that they're really not. And what's it called? The cure to that, they can get very if a genuine transgenderism, they can get very depressed, bro. And they can even bring themselves to suicide if they don't do life-changing surgery, which is transitioning. But I'm sorry, too many people. It is not a coincidence, bro. I'm sorry with the indoctrination that we see going on. It's just the numbers don't make sense. Too many people, and
they're all in these
states, and
it's all calories.
And the thing is that, like, genuine transgenderism, if they don't get the surgery, they commit suicide, right? How come more people are getting these surgeries, but more people are committing suicide?
Well, dude, it's like because we did an earlier episode about this. A lot of people. What they don't talk about is that a lot of people get this surgery and then they do regret it.
You just don't hear about it.
End up committing suicide.
But you'll hear about it in a paper in another
with
country.
Or without surgery,
yeah.
And a lot of them, including with, end up committing suicide. It's very sad. You know.
Like, yeah, but you won't hear that mainstream.
Obviously, there's a lot of well-adjusted cases. People that get
people that get it and need it because it changes their life and they want to live
feel really good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It saves tons
but it's
of
also
people's
like
life.
we have to follow. I mean, the Swedish.
Yeah.
They invented the surgery.
Yeah,
and they now
they're saying like, listen, they put a law. Yeah.
So it's like maybe.
So it tells you something. And the thing is that Sweden, they're not donor filled. Their academic system isn't donor filled like ours. It's just we're getting. The thing is that our academia is donor filled with these far left Democratic donors, these PACs, for the left, bro. But since it's illegal to donate to campaigns in Europe and most countries in Europe, civilized countries in Europe, Sweden, I'm sure, in Scandinavia, I'm sure it's illegal, just as it is in Italy to donate to politicians, bro. Yo, they don't have this type of BS, yo. Thing is that right-wing donors are far more dangerous, okay? But we have to be honest. This is something left-wing donors, academia donors, engage in, you know? No, it's not as dangerous as right-wing donors, but, you know, it's still not good.
Yeah, it's
you know?
bad, right?
Like, trust me, Democratic Party, you didn't lose a voter. Like, you got me next election, but fuck you guys, yo. Like, this is y'all's crazy point.
Stop sending me fucking prep ads.
Stop asking me for money.
And sending me prep ads.
Yeah, on our YouTube.
On our YouTube.
On our TV.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness.
See, he's wrong.
My name is Matt Walsh, and I've written a book called Johnny The Walrus. This book is about identity and imagination. He identifies as a walrus, and his mom's a little silly. She takes it seriously.
Come on. But then it's like you're always doing the dick argument.
Yeah, it's like, God, can you not be an asshole about it?
If you did it a little bit more sincere, you'd get more people.
People
then you'd be right.
This dude's just a hater.
No, it's like no, people don't identify as being other animals. You fucking dork. That's not.
Yeah,
how it
it's
works.
how this works.
They do identify it as other genders, but it's not everybody. It's like where did this number? It's like a lot of it's being like. Because what ends up happening, we saw that story of like, a transgender mom is like, oh yeah, my 2 sons are transgender. Really?
Really? I seriously that or
fucking probabilities. That's true.
But you see, the mom was a dad.
Or another one.
The mom was actually a dude.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then another,
another
one where it's like this rich fucking couple in Manhattan bragging like, yeah, 2 of our sons are transgender. It's like. Really? Are they? Or is that just a point?
Is that the point? Because you brag about it. Like, if my kid was if my kid actually suffered from gender dysphoria, like, it would be a pretty serious issue in my family. You know what I mean? Like, my son is depressed because he doesn't know what fucking gender he is. Like, my son needs serious help. And you go brag about it? No, you indoctrinated those fuckers.
Yeah, it's gross. It's
gross. It's gross,
whites,
bro.
It's like how progressive whites used to brag that their kids caught jungle fever or something.
It's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
Don't brag about it. Just, let them do what they want to do. But it's like, it's not like, oh, wow, he's better because he did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, God.
That was the because when I was a kid, I remember there was a chick, she was like 17, and she was like...
She was only 17!
Yeah, and I was 9.
Oh.
And we were at a barbecue. We were at a barbecue with like both of our families, and she was like, "Yeah, well, my boyfriend's black," and no one said anything. And she said it again. She's like, "My boyfriend's black," and then the second time around, everyone was like, "Wow, congratulations! Like that's so." Like it was like, all right. And then I was like, and I always remember that time. Someone was like, "Yeah, she was just looking for validation that she's fucking a black dude." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. But whatever.
So she went on her phone, and there were people telling her that this isn't pretend, he's really a walrus. And his mother takes him to the doctor to have him surgically transition, and gets him walrus hormone pills, and then eventually tries to drop him off at a zoo to live with other walruses. Not only topping the Amazon charts, my book has taken the world by storm.
Well, you just saw my next guest, author and conservative host of Daily Wire's The Matt Walsh Show, talking about his recently published children's book that has since been removed online by a popular large retail chain. Now, Matt says gender is not a social construct, but rooted firmly in biology. True?
True, absolutely. Well, actually...
Yeah, it is true. So, but you could get it across better if you weren't an asshole.
Just to clarify, and with all due respect, but most of what we just heard in the previous segment was total nonsense, which is why when you were pushing for definitions and that sort of thing, they were not able to provide it because it's just nonsensical. Sex, well, as human beings, we have sex.
It was not. Listen, you guys are fucking stupid. The fuck are you talking about? Dude has a fucking beard as long as mine.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. God, Maddie, coming in hard.
Coming in hard.
Coming in hard.
Yeah, what the fuck are you... I don't even know what that... You're like... It's a game. It's game, bro. It's just...
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Gender is a linguistic term. Words have gender. People don't.
You're saying that there should be no construct of gender.
No, see, that's a terrible argument. Like, the man, lady, whatever the fuck, started out, like, saying real shit, like, gender's up here, sex is down here. Like, it is true. Scientific, that is true. Mm. But now Matt Walsh just ruined. Like, Matt Walsh is just wrong on this point. But don't attack that point. Just that point is true. Talk about how this fucking makes no sense.
Just sex. You're either male or female.
Right.
And
yeah. Or you're hermaphrodite. That happens in some cases. You know, there are XY chromosome. Like my dad said, he's like, yeah, there's really, it's like, it's not male or female. There is some like XY combination like chromosome, and like you can't be hermaphroditic. But usually people identify when people are hermaphroditic, like they tend to be more of one sex, and then they'll be like, yeah, if they have more of the male part, they'll be like, they're probably most likely to be dudes. If they're more of the female parts, they'll be like, they're most likely to be female.
It's like,
you know
damn, he likes male parts. Usually in his mouth. Italiano, scusi.
Aren't all the people you associate with in Miami gay? Okay, shut up.
He went to jail. It's like the gay fucking retreat.
You spent fucking there's an occasional homosexual.
In prison? I've watched a couple movies to the contrary.
Yeah, movies. You spend your entire childhood with a homosexual. What are you talking about?
One.
And what about the guy that lives in San Francisco? That says Aubrey Plaza's good comedy. 2.
Yeah, that guy's
In a mental, emotional way.
Even though he's not, but he totally is.
He's gay.
You live in San Francisco.
Gay.
Live in San Francisco.
It's
You
okay.
need a gay passport.
It's okay, buddy. We'll support you when you come out the closet. You fucking woke fairy.
Yeah, I literally try to be like, guys, it's not funny.
We're gonna get you to come out.
Fuck off.
Yeah, he tries to. It's not funny, guys. Yeah, you know what's funny? The fact that you fucking don't feel comfortable coming out with your sexuality in San Francisco.
For real, dude.
That's funny.
The sex.
Think low key. Pause. I think the dude, because you saw a picture of him, like grosso.
He's gay.
He's a fat dude. I think he's a virgin, bro.
No, he's
like a 27-year-old virgin, 28-year-old virgin. He might as well be gay, bro.
Yeah, just
get
be
laid.
gay.
Get laid,
for real.
bro.
What are you? Don't tell us you're Christian.
Yeah, don't just fucking get your dick sucked by fucking dudes, because a chick will not be into it.
Yeah. What about your other buddy's gay too? The dude that married the fucking basket case of a.
Oh no, that one is actually. I don't know what he said he's straight, but we
have
pictures of him in dresses and it's like looking like that dude.
Looking like this guy, yeah.
Say whatever you want, bro, but you know.
He's probably a pansexual. He's probably a genderqueer pansexual.
Yeah. It's attracted
biologically created as
pansexual.
Pansexual.
Feel that way.
I like bimbo.
No construct that
bimbo.
experiences that.
Well, that's got nothing to do with the reality. So you can feel however you want. I mean, I can sit here and say that I feel
that's
like
nothing to do with reality. You're
wrong. Mean I'm actually in those things. So your self-perception, you can have whatever self-perception you want, but you can't expect me to take part in that self-perception or to take part in this kind of charade, this theatrical production.
Just take part in it to humor.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Sure, shim. Okay.
Identify shim sham.
Shim sham. Yeah. Just take part in the charade to identify shim. The issue is.
Look at her face, bro.
Yeah, the issue is getting out of our fucking schools. That's the issue. Okay. To live this type of lifestyle, I want to make sure that they're already an adult and are making an informed decision that this is how they want to live. In our schools, no, they need to learn how to fucking become formidable, productive individuals for when they enter adulthood. Period. How can you be formidable and productive if you're struggling with even who the fuck you are, bro?
You don't get your own pronouns, just like you don't get your own prepositions or your own adjectives. It's like if I were to tell you, my adjectives are handsome and brilliant, and whenever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant because that's how I identify. It makes no sense. You don't get your own pronouns. That's grammar. That's language.
So you think it's a delusion?
Yeah.
Someone is self-delusional.
Yeah, I think it's delusional.
God, way to guide him, fucking Dr. Phil. We know how that's you feel. Jesus Christ.
Dr. Phil got right to the point, though.
Yeah, it's like, so you think it's a delusion. You can co-sign on that, right?
Yeah,
God, yeah, dude. We know how you feel, but
fuck, I mean...
Feel a little bit less and more impartial.
Yeah, like, we feel the same way, but we would be nicer about it.
Yes!
Yes!
That's the difference. That is
we would just be way nicer about it.
That is the fucking difference, folks.
Like, we know. Gender dysphoria. Gender dysmorphia. We got it.
Gender I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever he said.
Dysphoria.
Dyslexia. Yeah, I got gender dyslexia. I can't even read my gender.
Yeah.
That's grammar. That's language.
So you think it's a delusion? Someone is self-delusional.
Yeah, I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness. It could be that's a lot of different. With children, there's also just a basic confusion that all kids have.
Yes, I'm sorry. The both of you are mentally ill. Like, you guys suffer from gender dysphoria. Bro, what is the...
Not mentally ill.
No, I'm going to Google this term. I know my dad told it to me a bunch of times.
Not mentally ill, but it is like a personality trait or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my dad told it to me.
I drank too much water.
Okay, it is dysphoria, not dysmorphia.
I drank too much water. I'll be back.
What a pussy. Pirlo, what are you doing? Big boy. Boy. Alright, waiting for Jen. Yeah, dysphoria. We're gonna say dysphoria from now on, right? And just check my Instagram.
Like, that's why when you hear a parent say, "Oh, my 4-year-old son came to me and said that I'm a girl now, and so that's what I'm gonna raise him as a girl." No, you're 4-year-old. I have 4 kids. When a 4-year-old boy comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm a girl," here's a good follow-up question: what is a girl? Ask him what he means by that. What do you mean by girl? And when you ask him that, here's what he'll tell you. He will tell you what he really means is that he wants to do some of the things that girls do, like play with the dollhouse. Or he likes the color pink. That's fine. Play with the dollhouse, but you're still a boy. That's a question I would like to throw out to other members of the panel. Actually, because just
how many dudes transition regretted they were just turned out to be gay men, or dudes that were like, "Yo, you know what? I want to stop the transition process," and they're much happier. Just like, it turned out I was just a gay dude.
4-year-old can't answer what is a girl. Well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. It's like, what is a woman? Can you tell me what a woman is?
No, I can't. Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
How
do you define a female?
Someone with female reproductive organs.
Okay.
Someone who is, here's the thing, when you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
Interesting. So I'm trying to understand.
Very true.
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct. Is a biological female.
So
when you get dug up 100 years from now, sir, you will be identified as a male.
Yeah, till they find the tits, then that's gonna leave the fucking...
Not even the tits will do it, yeah.
Well, tits might cave in by then. Actually, yeah. They won't even find breast.
They won't even, bro. They'll look at the bone density and be like, this person was born a fucking male.
What happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman?
They'll look at pelvic structure. They'll be like, this is a male.
As you just explained. Maybe doesn't
they'll look
have
at the
ability
shoulders.
to reproduce.
This is a male.
Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word, so what did you mean when you said trans women are women?
Poor Ethan. Yeah, he's like...
So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is.
You argue like a bitch. I'll give her that.
It's because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
that describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
What's to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently. And so trans women are women too.
Of course, roaring applause. Look at the Zoom people behind him, the audience. Of course, your fucking people just clap for lines. Mm-hmm. Trans woman is a woman. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, I'll call you a chick.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah.
Because you know what I think? You're not going to like what I think.
You're not going to like what he really thinks, folks, because he's Italian, all right? This goes way back.
Yeah, and trust me, we tolerate women with a lot of facial hair, okay?
You want to reduce
women, you want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals, our chromosomes, right? That's what you're saying.
What you want to do.
Oh, he needs to go out, Pirlo. Folks, we're going to take a small break.
Small break, folks.
Small break, folks.
Where does he need to go out?
He does, bro. I changed his food, so I think that's why he's ready, buddy?
No, you need water.
You got it right there.
You drank water. I think it's good. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna take them out right here.
Pirlo, come on. Pirlo.
Damn. Lamb.
Where's Pedro?
He's outside drinking.
Oh yeah,
water.
open. Oh, Lionel. All right, buddy.
Do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood and turn it into basically a costume that can be worn. We've got when we say it's real funny. It's real funny. It's real funny when you're
should look like. Right, so now you're literally saying this is what a woman is.
Yeah, well,
Isn't that a little sexist?
Because I am willing to define it, but you won't.
Hang on. We've heard how Matt feels about pronouns, but my next guest says those who oppose them are asking the wrong questions. What does she say are the right ones? We'll add her to the conversation when we come back. Okay, thanks, guys.
Oh God. Dr. Phil.
You can laugh what you want, but this is a logical problem. You are conflating sex and gender.
There's biological sex, and then there is gender identity. Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
Oh.
Some people go by he, some people actually use.
Oh, that's Buck Angel. Yo, what do you think? Do you think that's a man or a woman?
Who is that?
Buck Angel? You don't know Buck Angel, bro?
No.
Bro, hold up, bro. Yo, you think this is a man or a woman? What you think this is?
A dude?
Yo, this used to be a chick, bro. Yo, I'm telling you.
God, so.
Huh.
But dude, he's got like ripped pegs. Holy shit. Pegs.
Right.
Why is it a chick, but no, a dude, but he's ripped.
When it's transition, huh?
I think he might look better as a dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
it works out. Yeah.
Buck Angel, growing beard and shit.
I'm not a she. I'm not a he either. It's really about what sort of feels good to our ears when we hear it.
I refuse to use pronouns that do not apply to the biological sex.
Pronouns are important because they indicate a degree of respect. You can avoid mistakes by just saying them, theirs, they.
If you're unsure about something,
Walsh.
hey, what are your pronouns?
You cannot force people to call you what you want to be called.
Their gender is still valid regardless of whether or not you understand it.
Well, we've been talking about the great gender pronoun debate that has the country divided, just almost 50-50. Last segment, Matt made his case against people using what are called their own pronouns. But my next guest says the opposition is taking the wrong approach. Joining us on stage is Dr. Susie Denbo, Associate Professor at Kent State University with a PhD in Communications and expertise in gender, sex, and feminism. Now, Kent State has been recognized.
She's not a good communicator.
She's probably an unbearable human to talk to. We gotta call it how it is.
Among the nation's most LGBTQ plus friendly universities. Now,
San Francisco State.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
You've been listening to everything that we've been talking about. So, Dr.
Castro
Denbo,
Street
how do you
Catholic
feel
University.
those who oppose using pronouns are taking the wrong approach in this conversation?
I think there's the extreme approach that you are admittedly taking, and then there's also just ordinary people that might not be comfortable with the language change. And it just is awkward. And so they're afraid of not being
Pietro.
courteous or being accepting. So there's like these two things. There's actually combating and not being, you don't like transgender, the idea of transgender. That's different than pronouns. But then just for most people, it's just feeling a little bit awkward and unsure and not wanting to hurt
Can
or
you
offend
grab
somebody.
midget man?
Well, why is it important for
Pietro.
educators to teach about gender identity, gender presentation, and pronouns? Why do you think that's important?
Because there
Makes
is a
lots of
difference.
money.
There is biological sex.
Yeah,
and
well,
a lot of
one,
times
he-
people
'cause
are
he's paid
conflating
to
sex
care
and
about it.
gender. So there's biological sex, and then there's gender, and that's a social construct in the sense that just because you're born biologically a female doesn't mean you automatically want to vacuum, for instance, which is usually a feminine activity or conflated that way. And so it's this idea of giving children in age-appropriate ways an understanding that that these things aren't set in stone. Gender identity is not tied to biology.
You say that gender's not set in stone. What do you mean?
I mean that's just factually incorrect saying that. So you have biology is the chromosomal makeup and reproductive organs and all of that. And so that would be sort of the nature side of things. But the nurture side of things is where we see more of gender identities.
She began by saying that my view is extreme. Okay, so the view that every single person on Earth has held up until 15 seconds ago is extreme, and the view that almost everyone does right now still holds extreme, apparently.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
God, he's roasting, bro.
Matty, okay. Okay, he's got a zing.
He's like the view till 15. Really? When did this started? When Trump got elected.
Yeah, I went to ridiculous portions.
What up, midget?
Yo, pick him up. Pick him up.
No, he's too mangly.
Pick him up.
He's gotta get on my legs for me.
Give him space. Oh, there.
He wants to get picked up.
Come here.
Come here, Mangle.
All right, let's give
you'll
him.
figure it out.
According to her, but there is this. They are conflating gender and sex because on one hand they say, well, you got your biological sex, but then your gender is whatever social construct. But then they turn around and say that trans women are women. So a man who identifies with the gender, the social construct of womanhood, actually is a woman. So if you can laugh all you want, but this is a logical problem. You are conflating sex and gender just by saying that. So that's the problem.
Is it flea?
There's biological sex, and then there is gender identity. Part of me wants to ask why you care so
Could be the
much,
dirt.
because it's really not that big of a deal.
Oh yeah, can I answer that? I'd love to answer that question. I care about the truth. So basic truth matters. I want to live in a society where people care about the truth and we're grounded in truth. I care about children, and these insane ideas about gender are being foisted on kids, and that
He's
bothers me
right.
quite a bit. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them. I care quite a bit. Yeah.
You are a champion for women. I'm more interested in creating a productive space where we can try to build some kind of an acceptance around other people and exposing children to different ideas around gender identity.
Yes, but not when they're toddlers.
Oh God, but that's why you have a neck tattoo. Like a made up.
Yeah,
Gender.
she's like somehow like 10 times wackier than Marianne Williamson. Like,
don't think is a problematic thing with parents being involved.
My next guests are parents who say no way should children learn about gender pronouns at an early age. Not under their watch. They say if this is going to happen,
The vice president of a certain organization in the South.
One pulled her
Budapest
kids out
Clan.
of school. We'll meet them after the break.
The entire gender pronoun situation makes me feel very upset.
I don't want a teacher talking to my child about gender pronouns. It is not appropriate. It's crossing a line.
I feel like I'm ambushed because now I'm explaining to my son. He asked me, what does sexist mean? As a parent, I felt trapped.
I had to pull both of my kids out of this school district.
A Loudoun County Public School teacher is suing the district. Tanner Cross is on administrative leave. He said he would not call a student who's transgender by their preferred pronoun.
Oh, Tanner! God, he's racist and genderist.
Cross was placed on paid leave.
okay, it's not abuse.
Now,
Okay, it's not abuse.
Cross was placed on paid leave.
Okay, it's not abuse.
Now,
Okay, it's not abuse. talking about this is not abuse.
Yeah.
It's abuse if you're trying to like indoctrinate your kid into be a sex that they don't want to, that they're not born as. Like indoctrination is abuse. Talking about it at school is not abuse.
Yeah.
He's suing the district.
Well, you just saw a news clip about a teacher in Virginia who was suspended after opposing the school's gender policy. Now, inclusion in schools is a major topic of conversation because parents and administrators, well, they just don't always see eye to eye. My next guests are two concerned parents with kids the same age. Now, they used to be in the same school district until one mom pulled her children out. So while they didn't know each other before, they have unified for the same cause.
bath, you're so fluffy.
I'm really concerned about what's going on in schoolrooms across the country.
The entire gender pronoun situation makes me feel very upset.
People may think that
I'm upset.
if you don't want to use
People
the
are
preferred
gay and I'm
pronouns,
still in the
you're against
closet.
gay people.
Yeah,
This is
that's just shit what it is.
I am a huge advocate for gay people, trans people, and the like.
Stacy and I both have children in the same school district.
I learned that the teachers in my children's school were asking for the kids' preferred pronouns in the classroom. When I heard about this, it was extremely upsetting.
Last year, my son was given a homework assignment. I gave an example of a child not identifying with the gender that they were born with. This is an example of a homework that was given to my 8-year-old son. If a student is unsure of their place in the gender spectrum, or is experimenting with different
why are they
forms of
getting...
gender
Yeah, word
identity-
problems used to be weird. They used to be like, Mark has 87 watermelons. You know what I mean? Now they're like, this Mark, who doesn't know his gender identity.
87 watermelons. What was it, Black History Month? That's fucked up.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like that. Those word problems don't make sense.
Yeah, and now it's like
subtract his gender identity. It's like no, it's like
you thought they could get they couldn't get any weirder. They
I'm
got
not
weirder.
even opposed to like why can't kids have like you know how teachers used to have like open forums with us, and like they discuss some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why can't they just have like
but
open
why homework? It's like that's just weird.
Why can't it just be like this? If a teacher has an open forum in the classroom and the kids ask questions and the teacher answers them like a person.
School uniforms can present a real challenge.
Oh my gosh. What is gender spectrum?
That's a great question. My son was really confused.
Yeah, that's a
I felt
wacky math
ambushed
problem.
Because now I'm explaining to my son. He asked me, what does sexist mean? As a parent, I felt trapped. I felt I had to explain these concepts to my son. I felt like I was whittling away his innocence.
Save our
This year, my
students.
12-year-old daughter had a science teacher ask the class about their preferred gender pronouns.
I don't want a teacher talking to my child about gender pronouns. It is not appropriate. It's crossing a line. It's unacceptable. This is a parent-child issue, not
all right,
a
take it easy.
teacher-child
It's
issue.
not all the.
I wanted my kids to have nothing to do with it. I had to pull both of my kids out of this school district.
I've decided not to pull my children out of the school district, but I'm fighting for change. I've been attending school board meetings for about a year now. What's happening across the country is teachers can get fired if they use the wrong gender pronoun. That just seems wrong.
This is my mission in life, to protect my children, and however I need to do that, I will. What Matt and I and a group of us are doing is we're working to have the school board removed completely. A lot of people I know, a lot of parents I know, are afraid to speak up, and I speak for them, and I'm not afraid.
Stacey,
Look at him. Oh,
Matt,
yeah.
why do you all have an issue with the schools telling children about pronouns and having them deal with them?
First of all, thank you for having me, and I wanted to say I honor you and your journey and where you are in life, and it has nothing to do with that. We're here about our kids. And so in
all right, that's great what you did, but I give a fuck about my kids.
It's a parent-child issue, and it's a real issue with some kids. I think that the percentage is quite small for how many kids go through this real serious issue, and including and imposing this on the entire school or the entire class is where I have a problem.
There's no reason an 8-year-old should be taking an assignment that says what is the gender spectrum? And I had to explain to my 8-year-old son that they're about the gender spectrum and no longer about boys and girls, about femininity, feminine clothes, that uniforms could be sexist.
Well, let's look at your 8-year-old's homework assignment. It says uniforms may be sexist. Some uniforms may strike students and parents as sexist. For example, if a uniform requires girls to wear skirts and pants are not allowed, some students and parents may object, leading to conflict with the school's administration. Not all girls want to wear skirts, and some may resent being told to wear traditionally feminine garments. Also, if a student is unsure of their place on the gender spectrum, or is
It's the parents' fault that they're unsure.
experimenting with different forms of gender presentation, school uniforms can present a real challenge.
True.
What was the assignment?
9 times out of 10, it's the parents' fault.
Pro or con? Should schools have uniforms? And I believe they had that
No,
assignment
if the
just so they could
kid's
squeeze
gay
this
or
in. This was an
identifies as
agenda
whatever, it's
and
usually
not
the
appropriate
kid.
for 8-year-old children. When I drop my child off at
Nowadays? One time, yeah. Nowadays?
Yeah, nowadays it's
Nowadays it's different. It's the
like a
it's
fault
more
thing.
nowadays it's more likely to be the parents' fault. I'm sorry.
school, I don't expect him to be indoctrinated. Why are we doing this? Shouldn't the schools be focused on...
God damn. Pirlo. Oh God, I gotta show you something. You got your phone on you? Look at this. And look what show it is.
What is that?
Look what show it is.
I don't know what show that is.
Settlers of Catan, Settlers of Catan show. Jesus was gay show. Like, really? Him? He's waging war against the... No, he's one of the fucking 35-year-olds trying to appropriate Gen Z. Yeah, no, he's gay.
Pusardo, terrible comic.
Yeah. They know it's... Yeah, they won't ever book us, bro. You guys are too much. Yeah, you're too little.
On science and education and learning and reading and writing, and instead they're being taught, are you a boy? Are you a girl? And they're confusing the children.
We're going to take a break. What these parents feel about gender-neutral locker rooms and bathrooms next.
Oh, locker rooms? Locker rooms? Hell no!
Skip ahead a little.
Today is extreme. Fans are young to be in or had, so they don't want their children in
gender. Just like how...
Neutral restrooms.
Correct. This is a war on gender.
He's
just
Jewish.
Like how Addison mentioned
He's got the
before
Yamaha.
with the pumpkin that in that picture it said no gender or gender's over.
Gender's over. Yeah.
Gender's over. Well, I believe in gender, and to deny that there's a difference, to say gender's over is radical stuff that should not be taught to third graders. That's dangerous. And if you extrapolate and continue on, then it leads to to gender neutral bathrooms, which they're doing at the school district next to us, and they're doing.
Notice how Matt Walsh hasn't said a word. He's like, these people are great.
And that throughout the country, and gender-neutral bathrooms and locker rooms, and that's just not safe. That is a dangerous situation to keep them combined in the same space.
Yeah. How do you feel about the gender-neutral bathrooms and locker rooms?
Yeah, look at his comment, bro. Look at his comment.
Loud and count.
Tolerate women with a lot of facial hair, you mean? What does it say?
Matt You mean Matt Walsh?
He is a famous case of the.
No, he's just a weasel.
There was a gender non-conforming boy in a dress who went into a girl's restroom and violently raped a young girl. After that happened, that's when the school district decided, oh, you know what? Now we're going to open up the restrooms and invite the boys in with the girls. Now here's what happens, because we hear a lot about, well,
is that what actually happened?
People, it makes them feel
because it's coming from Matt Walsh.
Access to the bathrooms they want. Well, okay, so they have their feelings. What about the feelings of the girls who are getting raped? There are many girls and many women.
How many is that? God damn.
We want privacy in our facilities. We don't want a man in the bathroom with us. And then what we hear from this side, what we hear from this side.
I did not say that we want open bathrooms where anyone can go in.
What we hear from this side is that, well, their feelings don't matter. We're not going. Who cares? You just have to deal with it, right? Because the transgender people, the gender nonconforming people, it's their feelings that take priority.
I'm not trying to minimize your concern around it, but I don't know that it's a safety issue. You usually still have another bathroom that you can go to.
It's a safety issue. My daughter would not feel safe or secure if she had to share a bathroom or a gender-neutral locker room with boys.
All right, normally on birth certificates, you have two choices, male and female. Well, not anymore. I'll explain when we come back.
he's like so 50s. He's like,
Instead of a boy or a girl, gender-neutral babies are known as babies. Babies without a known sex. They say the gender part comes later and is left up to the child.
We did not.
Child was born with a penis or a vagina. Simple.
Assign a sex at birth. Which
literally, you can't fuck this one up.
They had genitals, and we know what they are. We just chose to acknowledge that those genitals don't indicate anything about gender.
Sparrow's parents.
God,
is it
suspicious you have a nose ring?
Gender.
Yeah. Everybody that says that has a nose ring.
Will decide gender when older. Even Sparrow's birth certificate says sex unknown.
The term the media is used for this is not a baby, but a baby.
Yeah, media term. Because there's no scientific term.
Sparrow's actually going to be 4 in February.
Has Sparrow decided as...
Oh, a gender?
Yes.
That's a great question. Sparrow is in a point of learning and exploration with a lot of things, including gender. Language with children at 4 is very, they bring it out, and so...
Yeah, they get this... They let this individual have children? We have... Hold on. We need to start funding our government to fucking intervene in situations like this. I'm fucking sorry, bro. Yo. All right, Matt Walsh. No, I'm serious. Like, you can't even get to the basis with your 4-year-old. You don't know if now your kid is a boy or a girl when you're 4. You go around with this fucking septum. Like, what the fuck is it? Who's the boy's father? Girl's father. What was a boy? We saw from the head and everything. Who's the father? Like, this is what you have government for.
He for everyone. No, it doesn't matter what they're.
Because some people are not fit enough to be parents. I'm sorry.
They don't conjugate it correctly. They don't use him or his or anything. Just he for everything. So we joke that he is Sparrow's preferred pronoun because that's what they use for everyone. As far as for themselves, though, they're not coming consistently saying, "I would like, I want to be a boy or a girl," or "I feel like I'm non-binary." We don't have heavy, in-depth, overt communications. It's not like every morning I wake them up and say, all right, what's your gender today? Hoping they'll finally give me an answer. So it doesn't come up like
What's the baby's name?
You decided this was important to leave unspecified, undetermined. Why?
Because of the fact that gender is so social, and it is such a social construct. Now, we say we shouldn't interact with one another differently because of our genders. Like, everyone deserves the same respect and treatment. But it has been scientifically proven that children are interacted with very differently based on whether they are assumed to be a boy or a girl. Girl children are held more, boy children are given, mechanical toys more often, all of these kind of examples and anecdotes. And I felt
you're depriving your kid of Legos?
Get the chance to figure themselves out without all of that pressure, intervention, and programming.
And if somebody asks you, do you have a child? You say yes. And if they say, what did you have? What do you have? What do you say?
When people ask, is a child a boy or a girl, oftentimes what they're trying to do is connect to you. And they're trying to connect to the child. So what I do is I give them some other bit of information about my child. Is your child a boy or a girl? They're 3.5. Is your child a boy or a girl? Well, actually, they just started preschool. You know, I give something intimate and fun and special so they know something about this child that is.
Oh God! Look at the fucking beardo.
So
fucking shaking his.
I'm tired, folks. Let's get to the end here. We had a lot of exploration today.
Well, Dr. Dimbo, you say it's fine if people want gender roles, just don't project them onto others.
I was saying that in the context of, a marriage or a commitment like that. It's okay to have strict gender roles for a man and a woman.
You're a woman with a mullet. I don't want to hear it.
Real great. That relationship will. And then you find something that's not conforming, and you find each other. And that
she looks like she sings the song. She's only 17.
At the same time, too, I think that people should be allowed to have boundaries around who's in their space, too. And if you have people who are constantly putting you into a box that you do not identify with, if people are constantly seeing you in a way that you are not being seen and stuff, too, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting, right? You have to imagine that. So for us, if we don't hang out with certain people who don't understand us, that's okay. But we will try to keep an open conversation going.
Yeah, I would think you wouldn't seek those people out.
Right.
I would think you'd get up every day and go find Matt Walsh and spend a day with him. But I would think he would be somebody that you would want to have an ongoing dialogue with because y'all disagree. And it seems like we should just keep the dialogue going and hopefully find some middle ground.
I have a question. Arlo, you mentioned that you don't have your child discussing pronouns or figuring out their pronouns yet. And yet in school, our kids are being asked what their pronoun is. I'm confused about how that works. And then there's always this fluidity right around what pronoun you are each day. So it's constantly changing. How confusing.
I think what it is. Oh, sorry. I think what it is that I sympathize with the hurt and distress that I sense from you all. I also wouldn't want my child to learn things from their teachers at school that were topics I was uncomfortable with or I didn't know how I'd want to talk about them. Your children are going to need to know how to navigate a world in which non-binary and transgender people exist.
This is a great conversation to have at home, out of the school. This should not be part of the curriculum.
We're out of time, but I
all right, thank God. All right, folks.
Folks. I was exhausted.
I was exhausted after that one. All right. Y'all have a good evening.
That was enough. Take it easy.